Welcome to where I have spent every single day of the past week because I'm an absolute wreck. It's my bed. Why? Why are you in bed? I hear you ask. It's a mystery to us. I can't even begin to understand. I have been infected with something that must have been custom created just for me, just to get me to the point where I was at my lowest. At one point, my fever was so high, I thought I was a dead branch. In the early hours of the morning, I thought I was a dead branch. And I thought my wife and my child, who were also in the bed, were branches too. I've just been in such a horrible, horrible state. And my deterioration was so quick. My daughter's been ill as well. But it's so difficult when I do this full time, not be ill. I'm being ill full time at the moment. When you create content full time, and I've genuinely been so ill, I've not really been able to move out of the bed. And any length of time that I do that, I feel awful. And I've not been able to eat really. I've had 2-3 very light meals since Saturday. And I just have been, this is the worst I've been ill for as long as I can remember. And there hasn't even been an option in my head. Usually if I'm a bit sick, if I've got a cold or something, I'll be like, no man, I'm going to push through. This is my job. If I'm not working, if I'm not putting stuff out, I'm not even creating the opportunities to make money. And this didn't even give me the option. I literally could not get out of my bed. It's the worst stuff out. I went to the doctors. My wife put me in the doctors because she was genuinely concerned for my health. She was talking about taking me to A&E because my temperature was so high. And I was delirious Sunday evening. But instead, she put me in the doctors the next day, and it turns out I've got some kind of lung infection, which you can hear here. Listen. Feel free to use that as a sound effect for your next horror movie if you need some kind of death rattle. Anyway, so I'm on antibiotics, but it's still taking me a huge amount of time to recover. So I'm trying to rest as much as I can. But also, basically what I was saying before is that when you do this full time, usually if I'm ill, I'm like, I want to go and make stuff still because this is my livelihood. I might be less productive, or I might take a little bit more breaks or whatever, but this hasn't really given me the option to do that. I've just had to stay in bed, and I've had to just completely switch off. Even just walking down to the streaming cabin to grab my camera today, I'm going to try and edit all of this on my phone and basically work within the restrictions I've got and just do this from bed and go, can I get a video out for you guys? But it's a challenge, isn't it? It's a week of not making content. And I don't know how other creators feel. I feel less like this with YouTube because I feel like YouTube stuff will just keep, it keeps doing its thing. But, if you're not posting on TikTok daily, if you're not posting on Instagram daily or YouTube Shorts daily, it feels like every day I'm not posting is a day where I'm missing out on new followers, interaction, new content. But I've had to listen to my body. There's nothing I can do. I think it's always good to be honest with yourself and say, like, am I making excuses for not being productive? But this week, has been the worst I've felt ever. Really, really not in good shape. So this is the first day where I've felt, even just well enough to be able to talk. So I thought, let me see what I can do within the restrictions of what we've got, right? So I've got this portable camera. I can send the footage to my phone. I've got CapCut on my phone. Can I, from the kind of restriction of my bed, what is possible for me to produce? I could position myself as a kind of John Lennon type figure where give peace a chance. Come on, give peace a chance. I've been in bed for 6 months. Give peace a chance. I could be like that guy. Who else spent a lot of time in their bed? I could be like this could be my new content. It's just like in bed with charm. Are there any sites where the content is mainly focused on people being in the bedroom? I don't know. I can't think of any, but if there is, this is almost certainly not what they're looking for. So this week has been a write-off, and the rest of this week is likely to continue to be a write-off. Some really positive things happened. I managed to, probably 3-4x my watch hours on YouTube through a couple of really successful live streams. So I'm looking at pushing that a little bit more. I always say to myself, what I've started saying to myself is that you should post all things everywhere because you just never know. And it's advice I've given myself before, but not really continue to listen to, because sometimes I just think I know best. Sometimes I think I just innately know that this is not going to work on YouTube. And then someone said, no, give this a try, man, this will work. And it absolutely smashed it on YouTube. And in my head, I'm thinking, there's how many months of missed opportunities have I had through not giving stuff a try. And I've said this before, but I've had videos where it's done 300 or 400 views on TikTok, but then done 10-20,000 views on YouTube Shorts. I've had videos do really well on Instagram, but do nothing on TikTok. Post everything everywhere. This idea of producing native content to each platform, maybe over time you'll get a better idea of what works for each platform. But there is a great book by an advertising guy. The book is called Alchemy. I'm trying to remember the guy's name. I can't remember it. The book is called Alchemy, but basically in the book he says, Rory Sutherland is the guy's name. Basically in the book, it's really interesting. It's not really about content; it's about advertising. But in the book, he says that sometimes the opposite of a good idea is also a good idea. And what he means by that is just because it's the opposite, just because something is an opposing view of a good idea, that doesn't make it a bad idea. It can still work. He uses things like, Red Bull as an example. If Red Bull is less liquid, tastes worse, and is more expensive than Coca-Cola, but was still hugely successful, it is in many ways like the polar opposite to Coca-Cola. Smaller can, less liquid, tastes kind of objectively worse, but is hugely successful as a drinks brand and now a content brand. And that's the point. Is just because you think you know what works on a specific platform, try other stuff as well. Just put stuff out there. I mean, what's the risk we're at here? What risks are we playing with? If I post something and it doesn't work, who cares? Who cares? So here I am, in bed. Apologies for all the coughing. Trying to make something out of this horrible despair that I'm feeling. But I hope next week we can get back on it. Honestly, this feels like one of those illnesses where it's going to be like trailing along with me for the next couple of weeks. Hopefully I'm well enough to get back to work and start filming and editing stuff in the next couple of weeks. I went to Glasgow a week or so ago for the Twitch meetup there, and did some photography, and I want to do a video about that because it was outside of my comfort zone and it worked out. It worked out by the skin of its teeth, really, for me. It was a lot of hard work went into it, but there was a mild moment of panic in there about whether I was capable of doing what I needed to do. But we got through it. And it was a great event, surrounded by great people, and, I was really happy with what I produced. I've got a couple of other events coming up. And, I'm moving forward. I need to start thinking more seriously about, how to make money and making money. If you want to support with that short term, you can go to ko-fi.com/charmthegamer and subscribe there or donate, and there's a bunch of benefits that go along with all of that stuff. But yeah, I want to keep making impactful stuff. So I've got some ideas, but I need to move on stuff. I know some stuff I really want to do, and some stuff that I'm like, I'm just not in a position to do that right now. But either way, we're going to keep moving forward. We're going to keep making content. I didn't intend to make this video today, but I wanted to make something. So we'll see how this goes. We'll see how I can edit on my phone. Just using CapCut. I'm usually on Premiere Pro on my computer with all the kind of fine controls that I can use on there, but we'll see how we get on with this. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I'll see you on the next one.